everyone, it's Allie and welcome to my channel. Today I am bringing you a little fireside chat with Mr. and Mrs. Moose. I'm so glad you guys are enjoying this kind of like casual chat type of video. As you guys know, I'm sure I am doing daily uploads from December 1st through 25th, and as much as I would love to bring you a haul like every day, I just can't do that. And so I'm really glad to be sprinkling in these kind of videos where I can just kind of chat with you, maybe give you some advice about certain things or just talk about issues in general. And I do plan on continuing the whole idea of like casual fireside chats as I get out of the month of December. So thank you guys so much for watching them. I am really happy to make them for you. And if you have any ideas for future ones, it could be about all different things, thrifting, reselling, or just life in general, definitely leave them down below because yeah, I will make them as long as I have ideas. Okay, so with all that being said, let's go ahead and get into the video. Today I'm going to be talking about 10 tips I have for you if you are considering starting a YouTube channel. I was actually requested to make a video like this from one of my subscribers who is considering making a YouTube channel herself. So hopefully this is helpful, and if you want to see another video where I actually show you the behind the scenes of how I film, how I do my lighting, how I get it on my computer, how I edit it, all that kind of stuff, I will make a video about that, but this is kind of more just like 10 general tips. Okay, I tried to like put these down in an order that makes sense. So I started off with just do it. If you are thinking about making a YouTube channel, just do it. I thought about making a channel for several years before I actually did it, and I had a lot of that negative self-talk of I'm not really that technologically savvy. I am not like a person that just is born with that ability. I didn't feel that I was like qualified to be a YouTuber, which is ridiculous because you can make videos about whatever the heck you want. And you know, I just like didn't feel like I could do it. And honestly, it probably is good that I didn't start a YouTube channel when I was in my younger 20s because I just didn't have like the confidence and the fortitude to be able to get through some of the negative comments that you are inevitably going to get and just deal with the whole situation in general. But I will say, if you feel like you're in a good mental space and you are considering starting a YouTube channel, just do it. It doesn't matter what equipment you have. If you have a phone and if you have a way to edit videos, that's all you need. And basically all you need to edit videos is to have a very basic software. I am still using the free software of iMovie. I'm going to talk a little bit later about how I do plan to upgrade in the future, but I don't pay anything for iMovie. It's pretty basic. You'll see that I don't really do any kind of crazy editing because I pretty much max iMovie out, but you still are able to put out, I think, very quality videos with just very basic things. Number 2, choose a schedule and stick to it. Now, this might change over time, and that's totally fine. Like when I first started making videos in January of 2020, I was only able to do 1 video a week. And they weren't that great, but I got myself out there, I started. I would say that if you want to take YouTube seriously as a part-time hustle that, who knows, maybe could even grow to a full-time hustle, you do need to have a pretty regular schedule. I think that if you're just making like pretty standard videos that are maybe between 5 and 20 minutes long that don't involve a lot of crazy editing, you should probably be thinking about putting out a video at least once a week. I think twice a week is a really good amount. That's what I'm doing now, aside from these daily uploads. But if you want people to see your videos, you have to give them videos to see. It also seems to be very helpful to upload your videos at the same time. That's something that I usually do pretty well. I usually have a noon upload. I've gotten a little off track with that over the course of this Thriftmas, Vlogmas, whatever, just because, yeah, doing daily videos is difficult when you're filming and editing and trying to live your life. But in general, try to upload the same days every week and at the same time, so that way people know what to expect from you. They're gonna be more willing to subscribe if they feel confident that you are not gonna just ghost them and not ever make a video again, or they just don't know when to expect another video from you. And it just seems that the algorithm of YouTube in general really likes people that stick to a consistent schedule. They're more likely to push your videos. My third tip is to try your best to stick to a specific niche, whatever you want to say. And I think that was honestly my biggest mistake in the first year that I did YouTube. I really grew pretty slowly at the beginning. It took me a year to get 300 subscribers, and I'll talk more about that in a little bit as well. But I think one of my biggest mistakes was I came into YouTube with just kind of like a general lifestyle theme. I wanted to make videos about all different kinds of things. And so I did stuff like come thrift with me, but then I also did like spend 24 hours with me in my bathroom. Like I did a challenge where I didn't leave my bathroom for a day. That was pretty fun though. And the reason that I thought that that was okay was because I do watch a lot of other YouTubers who make videos about all different kinds of things within the realm of lifestyle. But if you go back to the beginning of people's channels, they pretty much all started within a certain niche. A lot of people did beauty channels. A lot of people that started maybe like between 5 and 10 years ago. Many women especially started doing like makeup tutorials and stuff like that. And then as they grew an audience, they were able to branch out to make pretty much whatever they want. And I think that's really the key point here. Yeah, you might have to stick to like a little bit of a smaller window than you want, but as you get more people under you who just like you for who you are and will watch pretty much anything you make as long as it's like somewhat entertaining, you can then expand to do more types of videos. And I've even seen that within myself. So I hit 1,000 subscribers in October of this year, 2021. It took me like a year and 9 months to get 1,000 subscribers. But I've noticed that ever since I hit that mark, and I've done videos that are more like vlogs or not necessarily in that thrifting, reselling niche, they still get pretty good views, not as good of views, but still pretty decent because I have a pretty large amount of people who I'm very blessed to say like my videos. They like to watch me and my family. And so as I continue to grow, I can widen my niche a little bit more. But that was a really long-winded way to say, start in a pretty specific niche, I think, and then you can widen that as you get more followers. My fourth tip is just to make videos to the best of your ability. And I kind of talked about that a little bit in my first tip, but basically just use what you got. As I said earlier, just use your phone, use that free editing software, and just get the job done. Put it together, put it up on the internet. You're not gonna get any subscribers at all if you don't make videos. And you're also not gonna be able to gain any experience if you don't make videos. So when you're making your content, thinking about what to put out, don't worry about everything being perfect. Obviously, you're not gonna have the same production equipment as someone that has 1 million subscribers. And if you go back and watch their earlier videos, they probably weren't that great either, but it just takes time to build stuff up. So just use what you got, know that you did your best, and that's all you can do at the end of the day. You will get better as time goes on. My fifth tip is to kind of study what is trending within your certain niche. Like for example, I'm in this like thrifting, reselling niche, right? I watch a lot of other people who make similar content to me, and say a trend is going around and I'm noticing it's going around on some of the bigger YouTubers within my genre. I'm probably gonna wanna make a video about that. I definitely don't always do that, and that's something that I'm going to pay more attention to in this next year, is to really pay attention to what people are watching and then figure out how I can make a video related in some way to that. And I'm sure you guys have seen this too. You might have discovered a YouTuber who they pop up on your feed. This video has like hundreds of thousands of views, maybe millions of views, and they've only put out like a few videos. That just shows that it really only takes one video to go kind of viral for you to get a lot of attention. Maybe you'll get a lot of subscribers. Now that has never happened to me. Clearly I'm still sitting at just over 1,000 subscribers about 2 years in, but I have seen a fair amount of YouTubers where they make content that is very on par with the average tiny subscriber, but they just make a video about something that YouTube decides to promote. And I think especially if you're unsure about what kind of videos you can make in a certain niche, just look around and see what other people are making. You don't have to copy them. You can copy them though. That's kind of the thing about YouTube. A lot of people make like the same video, but everybody puts their own spin on it, so that's totally fine. But with all that being said, my sixth tip is to really try your best not to compare. It can really be so easy to become discouraged when you do see people that really don't have that many videos out that are getting all these subscribers, especially if they are doing things that are very similar to you. And they might be putting something out there that is super unique. Like for example, I follow a chick who is from Russia, and she talks a ton about minimalism, but she also talks a lot about life in Russia. And she blew up. Like I think she started her channel in March of this year, and she got to like 100,000 subscribers in like a month. But when I thought about it, because I was kind of feeling bummed, like, this chick, you know, she's just filming on her iPhone. She's not really doing anything crazy. But when I thought about it, she is like the only person that I've seen from Russia who is making videos like that. And there's a lot of people from America or like the UK or just a very different environment than Russia who want to watch her because it's really interesting to hear what she says about life in Russia and life as a pretty extreme minimalist. So kind of always keep yourself in check with that. Like maybe there is something just super unique about them, which is the reason why they blew up. But also, you know, life's not fair. The YouTube algorithm seems not to be fair, and some people's videos just get pushed more than others. And who knows, they might be sharing a lot on Instagram, on Facebook, which I will also talk about more, but they might have been able to get a lot more people than you are able to in their inner circle to subscribe to them. But just because you probably won't blow up in a few months or even a couple years does not mean that you will never grow, and does not mean that you will not be successful on YouTube. My 7th tip is to make sure that you are really continually learning and upgrade your equipment when you can. When you're on YouTube and you want to take it seriously as a side hustle, you should always be thinking, what can I do to be better? If you have any kind of part-time job or full-time job, I would hope that you would kind of have that same attitude. And that's what you really need to treat YouTube as, unless you very much do just care about it as a hobby, then ignore all of this advice. But if you really do want to be serious about YouTube, you really do need to treat it like a true job. There are actually a lot of YouTubers out there who their whole channels are dedicated to helping small YouTubers grow. So you want to make sure that you're watching people like that, you're reading blog posts, you're studying what is coming up new on YouTube. Like right now, the big thing is shorts. And if I was a better YouTuber, I would make sure to be putting more time into shorts. Something I'm going to be working on a lot next year, absolutely. But I do really think that it is important to stay on top of that kind of information if you actually want to grow. As much as I don't really like watching like TikToks, shorts, reels, and I don't really like making them that much, I need to accept more that that's what I have to do if I want to get bigger on YouTube, because that's what people are watching. And I've mentioned it a couple times already. Definitely start a YouTube channel, even if you just have a phone and iMovie. But as you are spending more time on YouTube, I would definitely recommend that you upgrade your equipment when you can. Maybe you start out with a pretty basic camera and a very small tripod and like a really tiny light or something like that. But as you go along, do your best to upgrade. You can find a lot of deals out there. You can even look around on like Facebook Marketplace and things like that to get cameras and lighting. But if your videos are higher quality, people are more likely to watch and definitely more likely to subscribe. As I've said, I started out with my phone and iMovie. I now have a camera with a mic that I am actually upgrading very soon from the mic that I have to one that is like on the lapel, so I'll be able to have better sound quality for you guys. I try to have as good a lighting as I can in my house, but I am still editing on iMovie, and that will be my personal next big purchase, is to get Final Cut Pro. So yeah, it's totally fine to start at the bottom as far as equipment, but I do think that it is important to upgrade whenever you can. Ask for it for presents, save up for it. I think it is important. My 8th tip is to really think about how you're marketing yourself. I know a lot of people, when they start YouTube channels, they're kind of like embarrassed. They don't really want to tell anyone until they get to maybe like 1,000 subscribers or even bigger. But it is really hard to get subscribers at the beginning, guys. I grew really, really slowly, and I wish that I had more people in my personal life that had subscribed to me, if I'm being honest. But just from different like Reddit threads and things like that I've looked at, so many people get stuck in that like 100, 200, 300 range, which, as I said earlier, it took me a year to get past 300. So many people give up when they're still in that area. But a common theme that I was seeing with these people too is that they weren't telling anybody about it. They weren't really promoting themselves in any way. You probably should have some other form of social media in general if you want to be successful on YouTube. Definitely Instagram, I think. So on that platform, you should be promoting your videos. If you have like Facebook and Twitter, promote them on there as well. People are not gonna watch your videos and subscribe if they don't even know that you're making them. And a way that I am actually looking to market myself a little bit better in this new year is to pay for promoted videos on Facebook. This will be a huge experiment. I've never done it before. I kind of had an idea in the back of my head for like the last couple years that it was kind of like cheating in a sense, but I just fully have realized over the last year especially, like how important it is just to have your video in front of someone. There is so much competition on YouTube. If you can give yourself a leg up to get your video in front of somebody's face, I think that it is a good plan. So I probably will pick one of my recent highly watched videos in January and I will pay to promote it for a day, and I'll be very, very curious to see how that affects my subscriber count. But the bottom line of this tip is that if people don't know about your YouTube channel, they're not gonna subscribe. So do what you can to get people to notice you. Think about the titles that you are creating. Think about the thumbnails that you are creating. Thumbnails are so, so important, and that is something else that I will continually try to be better at. My 9th tip is to make some YouTube friends. And I don't say make YouTube friends for collabs or subscribe for subscribe, like for like. I was put in a couple groups like that on Instagram where the leader of the group, the one who gathered us all together, she had found people who had like similar subscriber counts to her, and she was like,
oh my gosh, we can all support each other. This will be wonderful.
And a lot of us were like, yeah, this is great. Like, we don't have any kind of like YouTube support system. There's a lot of people in our lives that don't really understand what we're doing, think we're having a crisis, whatever. And this chick just wanted subscribers, basically. She didn't really care about creating a community. So there are going to be a lot of people like that that will just use you for a subscriber count, which is despicable. I hope if you get anything from me and my videos, it's that I will always be genuine and honest with you. I am not that kind of person that would ever reach out to someone just to like use their platform or just a subscriber count or anything like that. That's just not who I am. But unfortunately, in this industry, many, many people are like that. But anyway, the main reason that I'm saying that you should try to develop some YouTube friends is just for that support. This is a weird career. Many people are not going to understand it. Your family might not get it. Your friends might not get it. I have been very fortunate to have my parents be super understanding. They know that I absolutely love this and are really supportive of me, and they watch all my videos, and I'm super, super grateful. And I also have some good friends who are that way as well. But I also have friends who have not really been supportive, which can be very, very hurtful, and they just don't get it. You know, a lot of people are super content to go to their 9 to 5, live their life that way. That's totally fine. But there are others of us who don't like that life. They like the idea of a more creative career. And because you might not really have any people in your life that understand that, I think it is important to try to develop some YouTube friendships. I have 2 really good YouTube friends, Carrie and Cassie. Funny that their names are so similar. They're very different people, but I feel very close to them. I've hung out with Cassie multiple times. One day I'll hang out with Carrie. She's up in Wisconsin. But I feel like I can vent about my frustrations. They can vent to me. We can give each other tips and advice. And I just feel so much more content having them in my life. I honestly would be a lot more frustrated with YouTube in general if I didn't have them. And I would also say, just being in this thrifting, reselling community, I have had so many wonderful conversations with fellow resellers, many of whom are subscribed to me, so thank you to all of you. Your comments mean more to me than you will ever understand. But you're gonna be so much more likely to stick with this as a hustle if you have people that get it and support you. And that leads right into my 10th tip of stick with it and give yourself some grace. If you're kind of doing all these things that I've said, you're doing your best at the end of the day, that's all you can do. That's all you can really do, guys. It can be so frustrating to grow slowly, especially when you are seeing other people that blow up. See one of my past tips of not comparing yourself to other people. There are so many more people that are grinding, doing their best to make it on YouTube, and you just grow really slowly. But the beautiful thing about YouTube is you do tend to grow. Like, even if you're growing really slowly, you will grow bit by bit and maybe one day you will have a pretty viral video that will help you get more subscribers, or you'll just get momentum in some other way. But the one way I can guarantee you that you will not grow is if you quit. And unfortunately, I have seen a lot of small subscribers that I have had, casual conversations with who were making okay videos, like they were getting better every time, but they weren't growing as fast as they wanted to, and so they quit. And I'm the kind of person that I really don't want to live with regrets. I know what I want out of my life. I know what I want my life to look like in 5 years, and I do still want to be creating videos in 5 years on YouTube. And I fully believe that if I continue at the pace I am now, I will be doing okay, and I might even be making some decent money from this. But yeah, if you quit, if you're really, really inconsistent, you're definitely not going to grow. So just try your best to stick through those really slow growth periods. I know it can be so tough to stay consistent when you're not making anything from videos, but just do your best to make it to that 1,000 subscriber mark. Like I said, it took me a year and 9 months, which is a long time, but if you're loving what you're doing and you're just taking it video by video, the time really does go by quickly. Well guys, I feel like I talked so much. I'm so sorry. I hope that this video was helpful to you in some way. If you have any questions for me, please leave them down below. I'll either answer them in the comments or maybe I'll even make a part 2 to this. And like I said, I can make a video showing you more of the behind the scenes of how I personally film and edit. If you would like to see that, just let me know. But just remember, the world is a better place with you in it. You're doing your best, and if you want to start a YouTube channel, go ahead and start it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did like the video, please make sure to give me a big thumbs up and subscribe. Really does help my channel out a lot, guys. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.